All right, we got ourselves a big day ahead of us. We have some forest to deforest. I got a bunch of stuff marked up here, some stuff you haven't seen yet. And I was out last night kind of doing some finishing, looking around, figuring out what we should take out, what we shouldn't take out, and see what you think of all of it. So you want to do a little pan, kind of show where we are in proximity in here. There's the new stuff. Okay, then end of driveway down there. Maybe you can see the tires and stuff. Everything from there, gone.
All of it.
So everything from there to there, this is all going to be open for like the driveway, well, mainly just the driveway. So this is going to be kind of like 3 stages. We got our like main strip of the driveway that we need to finish. There's like this big boy right here. It's gonna have to go at some point. So this is gonna kind of be like our warm-up area, and then this that I just said is gonna be like stage 1. So this is what's gonna open up where we're gonna have the whole roundabout and get up to where the house is going to be made. We're not going to get more than that done today, but eventually we'll have the house area will be like stage 2, and then like stage 3 would be kind of just like finish whatever around the edges. It's kind of hard. You have to get it kind of open so you can actually see. So one quick look from basically the back of the driveway here. You can see the camper comes straight this way. Everything from this orange stripe, this needs to go because driveway is going to come through here, and then roundabout. So driveway needs to be able to go around the roundabout, and then if you can see it, those double striped trees, that's where we're just going to basically leave it all alone. So that way it's going to be like a strip of forest, and then it opens up for this, and then there's going to be a chunk of trees, and then our front yard will be somewhere back in there. We'll worry about that part later, but for right now we need to kind of get this part and then whatever dent we can make on all of this behind me. And what do you think about this big one?
That big one.
Did you still want to?
I want to use for a mantle.
Yeah, so we're on the hunt for one that we could make some just like milled boards, like live edge boards out of for like the mantelpiece. But it's kind of tricky because if we cut it too early, you know, it'll just rot. But it has to be a big one, and we only have so many, like, you know, big trees. Most of them are kind of stuff like this. That's actually a big one. Yeah, it is kind of in the way, so we're definitely gonna have to cut it before like the house is finished and stuff, because the driveway is going right through it. So we can avoid it for right now though. All right, so we're gonna skip them two. We're gonna skip big guy here. We got no problem with doing that right now, and a couple little guys and everything right here up to that dog right there. I did just get my fork stuff all put together. Before we started, I had this piece showed up on the last episode, and then my forks just showed up last night. So I'm pretty excited about that. So now I basically got a forklift. Well, off to a half decent start for the day. There was that shot. To be fair, I was aiming slightly towards the center, but I'd way rather wanted to get hung up on that little one than this big giant tree over here, because that one's going to give a lot more. And managed to cut it right between those two little twiggly guys over there. One down. Now we can get the one I actually wanted to get. So now that can fall. Oh yeah, that's way better. Nice clean opening. Even if it gets caught in that V part of that, I think that's far enough out. It's just gonna bloop, and that was a technical term. It's gonna bloop and bend, and she'll drop right out of there. Probably worth mentioning is that I'm trying to cut this all into bigger pieces, mainly just to move with the equipment, just for the speed's sake. We're probably going to make firewood out of the majority of this, but I think it's kind of just stash it and then I can come back to it, because all of those extra cuts we're going to end up flying through chains and have to sharpen, and I'm just trying to make progress. I'm not worried about firewood or anything right now. And then, like I mentioned, the mantle piece, possibly there's a few candidates for that. And then there's also some of these like really straight, like super straight ones. I'm probably going to try to keep those in really large sections, and we're make basically poles. I'm gonna experiment and see how it goes, but I can strip the bark off, seal the ends, and then do like a home remedy like treatment process, and then maybe we can use these poles for like a lean-to, or you're taking half. You got it. But yeah, so we can use that to maybe make some stuff down the road that's not like the house that has to have like certified lumber and all that, but for little side projects. next one up is this big guy right here. But once again, we can't just go for the next one in order. The way that it's going to get tangled up and everything, I'm actually going to take this little one, and it just probably needs a little nudge to push it through the canopy that way. And then this one right here, we will push through this kind of hole that way. And then what that's going to do is open up the this passageway for this big guy, because he's taller than most of the other ones around it. So I have to make enough room so it can get some momentum, and then by the time it hits any of that stuff, it's just going to plow right through it. So, right? Well, that was quite the
Slow
yeah,
fall.
nice chatty one, man.
I thought it was gonna
You
take
could
that
really
one
hear
out
it.
too.
Yeah, look, it cracked the trunk from here all the way. I mean, you can even see it almost up in there somewhere. Just about snapped that whole thing in half. That's crazy. It looks pretty healthy though, besides for like one little spot. It's like Assassin's Creed. Irene's actually, like, she actually worked like night shift last night, so she's like doing an all-nighter right now. So I'm trying to let her do most of the just sitting down on the equipment type of stuff, just whatever's a little easier, and then I'm doing all the heavy lifting stuff. So oh my god, just squeaked it. Hey, if you end up detracking, it's gonna be this track.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened, but I could see driving up here. That one looks really loose. Okay, it doesn't really look like we've done anything. It's so disappointing. We didn't get to that one that I moved, that we cut these down for. So I think we're done for today. It's like 4 o'clock, and yeah, and we still got a few other like just errands and stuff we got to do. So I think 4 o'clock's pretty good quitting time. It's probably a little past that now, just because we were trying to clean up what we've done so far. So gonna pick this one back up tomorrow morning. Parked the tractor too close. Oh, it's like within an inch. All right, so I'm starting off solo today. Irene is still sleeping right now, and it's kind of early, so I didn't really encourage her to get up with me, and honestly, she probably needs to sleep. So I'm just gonna see what I can get into, and she'll come out and join us at some point. All right, so I'm wandering down here, and so you can tell we got our big log pile. Trying to separate like the logs and the brush to an extent, so that way it's not a complete nightmare later. We're gonna have to shuffle this back around. We're in such a small space. Until we get opened up more, we're just gonna have to move stuff around, which won't be a big deal when I get a grapple for the tractor down there. I think it will be able to basically grab, I would almost say, half that pile at once and move it. We were messing around with it a little bit last night, and that thing is an absolute brute, man. It is not like the little lawn tractors like that most of us are familiar with. It is a whole nother animal. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to get the excavator, because this guy, point you up there again, it's actually really well balanced, and obviously I want it to go that way, so there's the slight risk of if I cut it, it can lean back a little bit. It won't fall, but it'll pinch my blade in there, and it's not really big enough. Yeah, it's not really big enough that I have wedges, which is what you would use in a situation like this, but with these trees being mostly small, there's really not enough room to actually get your wedge in there behind the bar. So, and if I get pinched in there, then there's definitely not much I can do about it. And I have a little excavator right there, so why even bother? So I could use the tractor, but I have to turn around and use the excavator anyways to help pick it up, because it just makes it so much easier to cut it. It's really the one thing the excavator really is good at doing, is doing that straight line pushing and then getting into tight spots and just picking it off the ground so we can make all those chops. survived. Okay, this is where it was. There's my feet. There's where the tree fell. There. Canopy I'm not worried about. That would have shattered you, my friend. That was not quite as planned. I didn't have as much pressure on there as I thought I did, and I still ended up pinching my blade. And I knew it most likely wasn't going to break and come back, but just seeing that canopy come back is like super scary. I almost couldn't push it over. So at least I know in that situation I do have the tractor now. Okay, so Irene's up and she said, give me that excavator. So she's gonna do cleanup crew again, get her XP points on the excavator up, and I'm just gonna keep doing my thing with the saws and most of getting everything ready to be cleaned up. Hold on, don't turn it off yet. What'd I say about that track coming off? If you actually just drive forward, it might... Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're on. All right, well, we got one down, and you helped clean it up.
I helped clean it up?
Yeah, you did. One. And I don't know how long it's been. I feel like it's way too late. So for the sake of saving time, you guys have already seen this process, and to make the video more entertaining, I'm just gonna jump to, we're gonna cut down and then a shot of like cleaning it up, and we're gonna do the next, because we need to get this one, that one, and this double twin guy right here. Let's jump to getting this stuff done. Okay, so we took a little lunch break and we're to this last one that's in this corner, and then we're basically done over here. It's gonna be a little tricky because this is our double and it splits at like a really awkward spot. So it's like just high enough that like it's gonna be really difficult to cut a notch here. And even if I got a little steps tool or something, it's still, they're so close to each other, it's not gonna be a very convenient cut. So, and I'm pretty wore out from chucking all those canopies. So she's bringing the tractor up because we also can't push on it that high with the and the amount of weight, because it's like 2 trees. So she's gonna get backed in here. I just cleared some of this out, and then we have a solid push, and I'm gonna cut it down low and just take the whole, both of them at the same time. So it's gonna be probably the sketchiest one so far. So now you gotta get your skill points up on this. So this is the exact reason of why we can't keep our split tree friend over there, because when they grow in that V shape like that, they just push together and then they grow and grow up, and like none of that's like actually stitched together in there. I mean, it's basically just mud and only the very outside edges are attached. That actually split apart just from me taking the excavator and trying to shuffle it around. It just split right in half. I mean, and that's a good almost maybe like 18 inches or so, and it just came apart that easily. So those multi sprout trees, they look cool, but unless if it's shaped like a straight V like that, it's not sturdy. Whew, hot mama. Look at that pile of logs and that big old pile of brush. That is the end of the double trouble for sure. I do gotta get these stumps at some point, but I'm done for today. I am tired. It's past 4 o'clock, so 2 days straight of doing this. I'm gonna take myself a little breather. I might try to get a few here and there, but next weekend, we'll be having some of the family from Irene's side coming over, and they're going to help us knock some of this out. So it'd be really nice to have some extra manpower. I'm going to try to get some shots of that and anything exciting that happens in the meantime, but it's going to be a lot of rinse and repeat because we got a lot more to go. So yeah, I'm signing off for today. So if you enjoyed this, thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. But yeah, check out the comments, links in there, do all the things. So all right, thanks guys, I will see you in the next one.